Swider-Man. He's getting all the attention now.
Ooh, I like that. Swider-Man. That might be Cole's new nickname.
Swider basket and a foul.
Paddy, Casey. Swider, answer back.
Swider from deep. Laces the three. Swider. And one. Count the bucket.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Episode 53. 53, Paddy. Out in Oshkosh, Wisconsin right now. Just got done playing my first G League game, and we just watched a little Syracuse basketball, put up a tough fight against Tennessee. So we're going to be giving you guys a little bit of everything. Obviously, the transition from Miami to Sioux Falls playing in the G League, while also recapping the Syracuse game that just happened against Tennessee. So, Paddy, how you doing, man? It looks like you're in New York City.
I am. Yep.
Just
I'm
being the
live from my apartment.
Just being the 9-to-5er that you are, just a complete grinder.
Of course, the best podcast studio on the East Coast. Did you ever foresee, when you were getting into the league, podcasting from Oshkosh, Wisconsin? Did you think that was in your future?
Man, I knew being a 2A could be in the cards, and I didn't know Oshkosh was where the Wisconsin Herd was, but
I didn't know that was a place till yesterday.
It's a place, Paddy. It's definitely a place. It's got the vibes of New York City and the weather of LA. So
yeah.
No,
oh wait,
obviously
I forgot to. I meant to start with this. To our listeners, Happy Thanksgiving. You guys are tuning in on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, maybe the best day of the entire calendar year. I had a question for the group. Adam, feel free to chime in. Do you guys think this is the best week of the entire year as an American? Because I think it is. Mm-hmm. Well, so how it works, would be Thursday would be a day, and then the days before and after would be the week. So then that would be the best week of the year. Yeah, that's the biggest argument, or like 4th of July, perhaps.
Yeah, 4th of July is a great one as well, Paddy. Thanksgiving has to be up there, man. Thanksgiving has to be up there,
exactly.
especially if you're throwing down some good food. You're a big football fan.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we'll get into all that, but
I don't know, man. I think there's nothing really like Christmas, though.
Yeah.
Nothing like Christmas.
Yeah, that's the biggest. Those are the two heavy hitters. That's our take for the week is that we like Thanksgiving and Christmas. So if you take nothing else from this podcast, take that. But
hey, but I just don't like the right after Halloween, November 1st. There's already Christmas commercials. I don't like that. I think
you
we should
don't
change
like
that, Paddy. No, I don't like it.
I kind of like that. I'm of the like working an actual job now. Anything that can provide any sort of excitement in your life, I think I'm all for it. So November 1st, if you start playing like Mariah Carey at a bar, I'm all in on it. I don't really care.
When does the tree go up, Paddy?
For us, for the Casey fam, well, that's a great question because we usually get the tree, I don't know, start of December, but being the wholesome family that we are, we always try and have everyone there to decorate the tree, and as we get older, it's near impossible for us to always decorate the tree with everyone there before, like, a couple days before Christmas. So when I was playing college basketball, there was times where you're decorating it, like, a couple days before, but now I think, like, my parents and my sister just take the reins and they do it like as early as they want to.
That might be the most Scranton Casey family thing I've ever heard in my life, that you guys are all doing the tree together.
Yeah, it's the most wholesome thing ever.
I like it.
It's a tight-knit group. Yeah, I love it. But how about you guys? Where's the Swiders? Are you guys real early? I feel like you're probably early.
I remember growing up, it was like the day after Thanksgiving. My sisters were all over it. And then I think the older and older we've got, the later and later it's gone up. So...
well, no one's like, it's very rare that the whole family's home.
I will say this.
You're never able to just go home for like a week.
Yeah, you're right. I will say this though. My mom may not have the tree out the day after Thanksgiving, but she has the freaking
decorations
going.
Yeah, of course.
Going.
Yeah, that gets like. It's the most nostalgic thing that I have as a 25-year-old. Like, getting the Christmas decorations out, it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
But,
it's great.
All right, good little holiday tangent there. The reason I brought up this as the best week of the year, though, is I think Feast Week is maybe one of the best sports weeks of the entire year. It just kicked off with our very own Syracuse Orange. Played Tennessee. My big takeaway out. We'll get into like some takes because you were able to watch all the game, right, Swider? Yeah.
I was able to watch today. Yes, sir.
Nice Monday afternoon.
Yep.
That's the only time of the year that you're getting that on a Monday afternoon. But Tennessee is so annoying. I don't know what your main takeaway was from the game, but overall good effort from the Orange. There's no moral victories in our program, but they look good.
Yeah, no, Tennessee's always like probably one of the harder teams in the country to play against. Rick Barnes is obviously a great coach. They have a very physical style of basketball. It's not always pretty to watch, but I thought we hung in there. I think there's just moments in the game where you could tell Tennessee's been playing together for a while.
Right.
You can tell that they've obviously had experience playing in those types of games with Zakai Ziegler and Vescovy, who's been there for like 12 years. And even the transfer that they had, I think his last name was what? Schvet?
Connect.
Schvet?
Dalton Connect.
Yeah, Dalton Connect.
Yeah.
Even him, like he averaged 20 points a game last year, right? And
Yeah, he's like one of the best players in the country, probably.
Yeah, just having that experience, like, it obviously made a difference in today's game. So I think the more and more we play together, the more and more JJ and Judah start feeling each other out, and Chris keeps on. Like obviously, Chris had a big game against Colgate. If he can just kind of replicate that, and I think I told you, I think this might not be a popular take, but I think ideally for our team, the Syracuse Orange, to be a successful team, I think Chris has to step up into like that first or second leading scorer. He has the ability to do it. He's shown that in the Colgate game that he can almost basically take over a game and make those big time shots. And I hit him up the other day after the game, and he was like, "Yeah, man, it's all confidence." So I hope he keeps it going. Justin's had a strong start to the year. He struggled today from the field, but he still rebounded. Was physical out there. The physicality didn't really bother him. So I think we have the makings of what it takes to be a good team, and I think Chance Westry will really, really help when he comes back.
Yeah, they kind of needed him today. If they had him, I think that like brings a whole different look at it. But that's the best part about college basketball is like Chris Bell's supposed to just step up and be really good, and he has been so far. And like you might look up in a month and he's just averaging like 16 a game, and they're humming, they're clicking on all cylinders. And
now all of a sudden he's a household name.
Right? Exactly.
That's what that Syracuse stage can do for you.
Yeah. But I don't know. It was frustrating at times. Like they were struggling from the free throw line, which I'm sure had Cuse fans like pulling their hair out. But overall, I think like the first half is a weird half. They ended it kind of slowly, but Tennessee just has like grown men, like you're saying. There's a difference between a young team like Syracuse playing them, and then they have like 23-year-old guys who've been playing together for 10 years, and I don't know, the style that they play is so annoying to watch and so frustrating to root against. And the refs were also real bad. I'm not going to blame the game on that, but I'm sure some Cuse fans that are tuning in agree with me there.
I mean, we're Syracuse fans. We're always going to be biased against the whistle, and usually we don't get a great whistle. And now we can't blame it on people not liking Coach Boeheim for all the success that he's had.
Yeah, that's true. We
can just blame it on the success of the program over the years.
Right. Yeah, you got to come up with like a different saying. But tomorrow they play the loser of Purdue, Gonzaga, right? Yeah, that's who's playing.
It's going to be an easy one. It's going to be an easy one.
Yeah, number 2 or number 11 in the country. So.
And both those teams, like they're experienced. They've played together. They
present the same problems. Yeah.
And I think it's just going to be – it's one of those tournaments where it's like it's obviously the best preseason tournament in the country. Like, and I think it was pretty similar to our year at Atlantis. Like, you try and get out of there 2-1, 1-2, right? Like that's the goal for like all these teams. So I think it's just going to provide a great early season thermometer to see where we are, and hopefully we can just keep on building momentum and bring us into ACC play, obviously after playing in a great tournament like this.
This has to be the best Maui ever, don't you think so?
I think
There's
so.
5 top 11 teams.
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy. Like, no matter who you're playing, besides Chaminade, is like literally one of the best teams in the country. UCLA technically isn't ranked, but I think in the coaches poll they are ranked. So like, it's basically everyone's ranked. All of them are top 11. Then it's UCLA, Cuse, and Chaminade. But to your point, trying to get out of there, 1 and 2. That's what makes losing to Colgate. We did it our year. It's devastating. It's the worst thing in the world. But the conversation after this game today, when you put up a good fight, but then ultimately lose to Tennessee, if you had lost the Colgate game, it's a completely different outlook on the season. You know what I mean? Like, 100%. If they're 2 and 2 right now and they kind of rolled over against Colgate and lose by 15, let's say, then I just picked that as an arbitrary number. I didn't mean that because we lost by 15 to them. I just meant if they were down 24 and then actually lost. But, like, if they're 2 and 2, it's just full-on panic mode. You're playing another top 10 team tomorrow. You're staring 2 and 3 in the face. Like, so I know I actually didn't get to watch the game live, but I went back and watched the highlights. Colgate game just turns into a massive victory for so many different reasons.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy that we got that monkey off our back. So,
the press.
Shout out to the guy. What do you say?
The press work too.
No, and I think Red's trying some new things, and I think a lot of them have been working. So I'm excited for him too. It's like he gets to kind of re-identify himself, and he threw the 2-3 out there today, and
yeah,
it's definitely different not seeing a Syracuse team run the 2-3 the whole entire game, but it's obviously very refreshing. I thought they played really good defense today as well. Like they obviously started fouling at the end, and I think Tennessee ended up scoring a little bit more than they probably would have if we didn't foul. But I think overall, like there was a lot of bright spots to the game, and like you said, Syracuse isn't a program to like be like happy after a loss or be like, oh,
right.
like, we figured it out after a loss. But it's definitely convincing knowing the caliber of team Tennessee is that we were able to hang in there. And I think athletically, it's not, especially with our team, it wasn't the case in the years past. Like we were able to stay in the games because we were making shots, but athletically, I didn't see a huge difference.
No, I totally
Tennessee
agree.
And Syracuse.
There was times defensively that Tennessee was like pretty suffocated. Judah and JJ and especially Chris were just like flying around. But what was I gonna say? Oh, I'm gonna keep a running track on the podcast. We're at 100%, 4 for 4 in Cuse games of the announcers. As soon as the game starts, they're like, and Syracuse was in man-to-man, and then what? Like today, Jay Billis was like, "What? Syracuse is in man-to-man." It's just a layup of a comment if you're an announcer. So I think they're probably the happiest that Cuse has now transitioned to man-to-man because it's just like the easiest opening to the game ever.
Yeah, no, it's a layup. Like you say, Paddy, it's just a layup comment. It's so funny because I remember when we played against Duke, my last game of my college career, and we had the little triangle and 2 going.
Oh yeah.
And Bill's just like, it looks like Boeheim's throwing out like a man-to-man defense out there. Like,
yeah, they couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, so
neither could the Blue Devils, but
how good is Jay Billis and Dan Schulman together? They're unbelievable.
Yeah, they're very comforting. Like it's college basketball season when you hear them on your TV.
It's almost like the new Dickie V, right?
Yeah, they're getting to like GOAT status. They're probably the best booth together. Although Raftery is still my favorite.
Raftery's
probably.
great. Raftery's great.
I think as far as duos go, they're the most college. Like they're in my head when I hear their voices, I just think college basketball right away.
Where do you put Bill Walton on that ranking?
I like Bill Walton's funny for the Pac-12, but like if he was doing the Cuse game today, I would have been like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like if it's actually a game I'm really trying to watch and care about the result and like consume the basketball game, I don't need Bill Walton like telling stories about the Grateful Dead with like 3 minutes left and Cuse is down 4. It is funny though for what it is.
And speaking of like the Syracuse man-to-man comment, like Bill Walton every single time anything happens it's about the Conference of Champions, the Pac-12
Yeah,
Conference
exactly.
of Champions.
He might not even know the Cuse ever played his own. Like he might get on a broadcast and Schulman would be like, and Syracuse is playing man-to-man for the first time in 47 years. He's like, what? They played zone? When was that? Like I could see that happen.
The last time I saw Syracuse is when they had Dave Bing in the
yeah,
cast.
exactly.
Like just something
some
weird
shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that's a good call out. But other than that, yeah, I mean, the Maui will be entertaining to watch. I'm it kind of sucks that Marquette plays tonight at 11:30 because I'm trying to tune in for our guy Kolek. But as far as the rest of the tournament, I think just like it's definitely the best one in the country every year, probably. But this one in particular, this field is pretty loaded.
Stacked.
But Swider, one thing I wanted to bring up, we'll transition to a little Miami Heat, Sioux Falls Skyforce talk. But one thing really quick was last week I forgot to mention, I was kicking myself, that you did play the Lakers since we last spoke.
Yep.
And the show before that, I kind of mentioned how like it might be weird, but we were sort of texting about it. But was that I don't know, how's that experience seeing all the boys?
No, it was great, man. Obviously, it was weird being on the other side of it, and I think just like there's an appreciation that goes to seeing all those guys. Obviously, like seeing some of the coaches that believed in you and wanted to see you succeed. It was great to see all those guys. At the same time, I know I'm in the place where I'm meant to be now. So
yeah,
I thought it was great to see like all those guys, and like my shooting time was at the same time as LeBron's shooting time before the game, and he came up to me, he was like, "Man, you're looking great. Keep going." Like saw how well you did in preseason, and Phil Handy and Jordan Ott and Chris Gent, like just seeing all those guys was great. So great experience. Happy we got the dub against them. That's always a good thing. But I'm looking forward into the future when I get to play against them when I'm actually in the rotation and everything like that.
Yeah, so I just brought that up for the LeBron
too.
story because you texted me about it. I was like, that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, man.
Running into LeBron James. He's like, what's up, man? But, yeah, no, they're playing well, too. I mean, LeBron had like 40 again last night. But
I mean, we've talked about it so much. It's not even, like, funny at this point.
It's not adjectives at this point.
But honestly, like, people are, like, they've kind of, like, stopped talking about it almost because it's just that, like obviously it's the layup every single game. Oh, he's been doing this for 21 years, blah, blah, blah. Like, everyone brings it up once every game. But it's like for the amount of attention that it should be getting, I feel like people are just like, all right, it's like, this is just
what else is there to say, though? That's my only rebuttal.
Like, this guy's almost 40, Paddy.
Yeah, I understand that, but I feel like everyone says that.
This guy, like, could be a league MVP this year.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. I'm just saying, like, he gets all the posts.
He does.
I'm sitting here behind the microphone, and I'm supposed to talk about it, and I have nothing to add because you can't really say anything else at this point.
I agree. Next topic.
That's the point, yeah. Next topic. I think, what was I going to say? Oh, last night. First ball game with the Skyforce.
Yep.
How I don't know. Was it good to be back in the G? Because I know we've talked about this before, but on a two-way, I think a lot of people may view it negatively when like you get sent down. But it's kind of like, I mean, you're gonna play 30 minutes. You're gonna get your shots. You're gonna get out there and actually run. So I know you enjoy it when you get to go down there and actually like play some hoops.
Man, I love the play of the game, and I felt like I was in such a good rhythm with the Heat before in the preseason, just like mentally, physically, spiritually. I was just so locked in, and to be able to kind of get back to that last night after not playing for a whole entire month, it just felt great. Like I woke up this morning, I was a little sore, and I was like, I missed this.
Feels nice.
Yeah. It just feels nice, and being able to just get out there and compete is something that I love to do. And I think last year, like with the G League, I was in the G League most of the year, and I think this year's it's been a good little switch up. At the same time, like I just wanted to get out there and compete. And last night it was great competition too. Like we talked about this before, but Wendy and Gabriel was on the Wisconsin Herd. Elijah Hughes, both those guys have had multiple years in the NBA. They had all three two-ways down. They had guys coming off their bench who have NBA experience, and I think it was just great to get that experience, play against those guys, and it was weird because I haven't played in a month, so getting my legs underneath me, I missed a couple shots that I normally make, so I'm excited just to continue to play. I'm going to be playing these 3 games and then rejoining the big squad. But
yeah.
I think just being able to get out there and play is such a great experience, and just having the support of the coaches too. Like Spo texted me and Nico right after the game and just said like there's a lot of positives to take from that game, even though I didn't play as well as I thought I could have or wanted to. So it's always great
Still
to get out
played well.
there and compete.
40% from 3.
Yeah, man. It's all
34
it's
minutes.
all, yeah, 34
But
minutes.
what
great.
is? I'm sure a lot of people saw you making J Butts Insta story. But
Yeah,
is that like real cool for you guys? Because I saw the videos of him like dapping up Jovic, and he tagged like Alanis Williams in a story and stuff. Like, does it actually mean a lot to you guys when you look over and you're like, oh, there's the best player on our team, and he's taking the time to come to our game?
100%, man. Like he doesn't have to like take a private jet to Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and,
Yeah.
and come meet up with us. Like he doesn't have to do any of that stuff. I think it was just so cool that he took the time out of his day, like spent his own money to come watch us play, man. And to be able to be able to see him courtside and him cheering us on, and he wasn't really giving too much advice, and I felt like he was just more of a fan, which was cool.
Yeah,
So,
that's cool.
So
It's kind of the
like,
vibe of like you and Jovic and the other guys that have been with the team are like you're on freshman or JV, and you get sent down for a game, and then the best player on the varsity team shows up, and you're like, oh yeah,
Exactly.
that's still my boy.
Yeah, no, exactly. And yeah, Nicole played great yesterday too. I was really happy for him.
He did play well.
Being able to come down and just show what he's been working on. I think that's the biggest thing about coming down to the G League is that like you're working out so much with the top team. You're not getting a lot of 5-on-5 reps, but you're working out so much that you finally get to like kind of show what you've been working on and test it against real live bodies in competition and guys who are fighting for your spot too.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, if you're listening to this right now, you won't be able to time travel backwards, but you do play tomorrow night, Tuesday, against the Herd again.
Yep.
And then back-to-back, right? Windy City?
Then we play
Is this
Wednesday against Windy
schedule
City. So
correct?
Yep. So 3 games in 4 days, which is it's always great to have that mixed into a road trip too, because then you come down and get some reps. Because when you're on the road, it's really hard to get a lot of work in and be in shape when you're with the top team. When you're home, you're able to get in the gym a little bit more. And then this month's been really tough because we had an 8-day road trip, home for 2 nights, and then 9-day road trip.
Right. But, yeah, you'll be with the squad in New York. Can you mention that here? Or is there a chance that it changes? Yeah.
I mean, life for two-way, I think can change at any time.
At any point, yeah.
At any point, but the plan is for me to be in the city with the squad, and it'll be cool to meet up with a couple of different people. Hopefully, see my boys Paddy and Adam.
The Swider Show will be there if you're there.
Exactly.
Probably even if you're not there. Saturday
exactly.
night, Barclays. Us, Swider Show times Tommy Alter, link up, collab.
That's what we're hoping for, man. That's what we're hoping for.
That'd be amazing. He's one of my heroes in the pod game, so that would mean so much to me. But how does that work? So, like, Thanksgiving, we could transition to some Thanksgiving talk, but are you, like, traveling that day and meeting the team?
That's the plan, man. Just travel on Thanksgiving, meet the team in New York, and I don't know. We'll see. My family's trying to find a way to come up and
Figure
see
it
me,
out,
so we'll see.
Thanksgiving talk, classic podcasting, and I think like we have to do it. Last year we might have done it. So, although I think we took last Thanksgiving that week off, so maybe we didn't. But if we did, apologies. I feel like if you have a podcast, you have a duty and a responsibility to your listeners to do the classic debate of what your favorite dish is. So I don't know who wants to start, but let's go with our let's go top 2 favorite things on the plate Thanksgiving.
Let's go Adam first.
Yep.
All right, this is a tough one because I'm going to get a lot of hate on this. But we have mashed potatoes, and then so we have 14 people at the table, and we have mashed potatoes. But my mom and I, like, my grandma makes this, like, roasted potato thing, so we each get our own little, like, peeled potato with, like, a ton of butter and, like, roast it in the oven with the turkey and with the basted and all that. So that is probably my favorite part of the meal. But the rest of the table doesn't get it. It's only me and my mom out of 14 people. That's tradition. So
it's just
I
you
would
two?
say, yeah, because everyone else likes the mashed potatoes better. So we kind of have a little secret alliance deal on the side with my grandma, who makes 500 things on Thanksgiving. And then my second thing has to be the dessert plates. We have a lot of dessert later in the day. And I guess if I'm specific, the pumpkin pie. My mom makes a great pumpkin pie. But dessert in general is an unbelievable experience.
Lewis, I want to sincerely thank you for that answer because, like I said, everyone does this boring-ass argument, and you just gave an individualized answer that I don't think anyone else will say, so that was perfect.
I thought
That
I'd
was
tell
great.
a personal story.
I'm gonna
guys.
get
That was great.
That was great. That was perfect. I'm gonna
Patty,
give a
go
boring
ahead.
answer next. Number
Patty,
one,
go
I'm gonna
ahead,
go
man.
stuffing with a bunch of gravy. Number two, I was actually gonna say dessert, but since Lewis said that, I will pivot to. I'm gonna go rolls. I think that's actually my
Come
favorite part of it.
on.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes. Yep.
I love
you
how
serious?
you introduce
Yes.
the segment, and then in your head you're like, I think my second thing is going to be rolls. Like, are you kidding me right now?
Well, no, it was supposed to be my
Rolls?
third, but then
Oh, dessert.
yeah, no, we got to say that more. You guys got to get real up in arms about it. That's how you
Is
make
it-
these clips
Is it
and go
home
viral.
baked, or are you getting them from like?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay.
That's ridiculous. It's
Actually,
probably
maybe
like,
not.
It's probably the croissants. It's probably the croissants from.
Well, I was gonna say mac and cheese, but I don't even
Is that
think
a
that would
Thanksgiving
count.
dish?
Yeah, that doesn't count as like my family's had that before, but like I don't think that's a classic Thanksgiving dish. But like turkey kind of sucks.
Turkey.
Thick turkey.
I'm not a huge turkey guy. No, especially
Yeah,
like
it's real
and
dry.
it's carried.
It's way
it's
better.
carried by the gravy, right? So there's no point.
Mhm.
You can't say the turkey is the good part of it. If there's
This is
some
another take that no one's ever had. I think actually the best part is the next day when you make like a turkey sandwich on toast of sorts, like the leftovers.
Yeah, no one's ever said that.
Yeah, exactly. I
hot
was the
take.
first person to ever say that on a podcast.
That's a very original take, Patty.
Yeah. All right. What's yours? What's yours? Turkey, mashed
No, I'm
potatoes.
gonna go mashed potatoes 1, and then I'm gonna go stuffing 2. So
right.
pretty by the book answers, but that's who I am. I'm by the book. Do things the right way.
Who does the cooking in your guys' houses?
My mom, my mother, and my aunt. They do a tremendous job.
Yeah, my grandmother, my dad's mom, when we go over their house, and then my mom does a good amount of it as well.
Are you guys ever helping out?
Yes.
Do you go in and offer the help at the time when they
Yeah.
know they're gonna say no, so then you get credit for saying it, and then you just walk away?
When I've told everyone
Patty.
about my last 6 months for the 14th time, I'll go to the kitchen and try to avoid any more of that.
Patty, you're giving away our secrets, man. You gotta calm down. My mom listens to this.
No, I mean that's just a classic move. If you're a young adult male, you walk in, you're like, "Oh, mom, do you need any help?" And then you know she's gonna be like, "No, you're good." It's at like 11 a.m. and then you just disappear
Yes.
for the rest of the day. Yeah, but obviously Thanksgiving synonymous with football. This year, it's kind of weird. I was thinking about this when I was like looking at the games. The Lions are the best team that are playing on Thanksgiving. Do you think that's ever happened in our lifetime? Definitely
That's-
not, right?
It's gotta be the first. It's gotta be the first.
Like Lions Packers is every single year, and this year it's like, oh, the Packers suck and the Lions are really good. I can't remember that ever being the case.
I could see an upset though. I could see an upset.
Yeah, oh for sure. I mean, the Lions did not look great yesterday playing the
I
Chicago
feel like
Bears.
they just win close games. They're kind of like the Vikings
Yeah.
last year. They just win close games.
Oh, that's not a bad call actually. Their offense is definitely better though.
I don't know. I like how would you compare Kirk last year to Jared Goff this year?
Pretty similar.
Right?
Pretty similar.
Yeah.
They got a lot of firepower though. Their defense is probably better too. I just said their offense and their defense are better, which would make them just a better team. But aside from that, other NFL talk is that the Eagles play the Chiefs tonight. By the time you're listening to this, they beat them by 45. But I'm actually nervous. I think the Eagles might lose.
That's gonna be a great game though.
That would be a great game. Anything else, fellas? Anything else top of mind? I was going to do a little debate about the best Thanksgiving or Feast Week tournament, but we already kind of talked about that.
I think we're in good shape. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I don't know if it's going to do better or worse with travel on Thanksgiving. Like, if you're headed to whatever your family's doing, you should just throw the pot on for 15 minutes, I think.
That's the end of our episode for episode number 53, Patty. 53 of the Swider Show.
Thanksgiving special.
Thanksgiving special. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Obviously, hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving with your family. Hope you guys get some good food, watch some good football, and ultimately just be around the people that you love. So, happy Thanksgiving from the Swider Show. We really appreciate you guys tuning in on this very special day, and we'll be back next week with another episode. Hopefully, we have a guest. That would be great if we had a guest, Paddy.
I think, yeah, that would be nice. That would be a nice Thanksgiving special or present, even though you get presents for Christmas. But we were just discussing offline. I think a perfect Thanksgiving is you're sitting on the couch, you're surrounded by friends and family. Maybe it's post-meal. You're watching the late game. I don't even know who's playing this year. I think it's like Raiders, Vikings, or some bullshit like that. But you're sitting around, everyone's tired, everyone's quiet. You throw on the Swider Show, and you let us kind of steer the conversation, and that takes you into the rest of the night. So, yeah, I think that's a Thanksgiving well spent with your closest friends and family, including us. So, like you said, thanks for tuning in, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I'm reckless, I'm dumb, according to you, but you don't know shit, you don't know how I move. I'm rolling, I'm smoking and do. I ain't telling lies, baby, you know that I'm the truth.